So here we are at 2022. Happy New Year, everybody. I thought I'd start the new year with a new format. I'm going landscape here. I realise landscape is the default for most YouTube uploads, and I've been recording portrait. So we'll see how this goes. You'll get more of a feel, I guess, for the environment that I'm working in here, and I can do the panoramic shots. And so as we enter a new year, our thoughts turn to the year that's behind us, and we might reflect on the positives and negatives of that year, the happy times, the sad times, the difficult times, and then we naturally take stock and look forward, maybe with some excitement and maybe with some trepidation, and possibly a mixture of the two, to the new year and what that might bring for us on a personal level, and for us as a society and a community and a nation and a world. And it's easy to get drawn into negative thoughts and fearful emotions. We naturally want to bring order out of chaos. That is what most people want to move towards, or there are exceptions. Some people move towards the chaos consciously, but I would suggest most of us do want a feeling of peace and harmony and tranquility, and whilst we recognise change is inevitable, we also want some stability in our lives. But often the pressures of daily life and life within our immediate families and the wider community can cause difficulties and anxieties and stresses in our own sense of being, in our own way of facing each day our realities. And there is an opportunity to find that empty mind, that peaceful place of pure being that is already fulfilled and isn't at the mercy of external events, and even at the mercy of our own thoughts. This empty mind is the container, the background to what arises within it, the subjective experience. And often we're not facing immediate and present danger or threat. They are imagined dangers and threats. And whilst it's prudent to plan to mitigate those and to bring order out of potential chaos, we can do that pragmatically without disappearing into that mind full of disquieting and worrying and frightening and anxiety producing thoughts. And the first thing we need to do is recognize that we are not our thoughts. We do not have to be carried away by those negative thoughts into a future that hasn't happened yet, and in so doing trample all over any peace that we may find in the present moment. So it almost is as simple as recognizing the thoughts as they arise and becoming aware that we are not those thoughts, that we are the empty mind that is free-flowing and spacious and fulfilled, the empty mind within which those thoughts arise. And so it's a matter of becoming aware of the thoughts that enter our minds that are unhelpful and not nourishing and fear producing, and catching them and stepping back into the witness position, the mind which is the background to the thoughts. It's not a thing, it's not an object, it's not something that we can describe or understand, but it is the place that comes before thought. The thoughts couldn't exist unless they had a place to arise within, and that place, that space, is the empty mind. And this is the shift in our perception that can allow us to become the witness and fall into that serenity, that peace, that clarity of mind, and that calm sense of just being in the moment. Most present moments are without danger. Most present moments are peaceful. That peace is destroyed when we attach to negative thoughts, and those negative thoughts are usually about catastrophizing a future that hasn't even happened yet. So we bring an illusionary catastrophe into our present moment, into the beingness of our daily life, and then we can't see what's in front of us. We are, if you like, blinded to the beauty of being present. We are seeing through a filter of fear and anxiety. Fear and anxiety for something that is not actually occurring now, that is a thought in our mind. And those thoughts can overtake us, and we can become them, and we can become that stressful, anxious, worried and fearful being over years of not realizing that there is a separation to be found between the thoughts that arise and this background emptiness, the empty mind. And the empty mind is pointed to in the Tao Te Ching, the way of being, the flow, the deeper sense of I, the I before I am, the I before our story. And this is where, if we can just stop and breathe and drop those thoughts, we can't stop them, but we can drop our attachment to them. And then this beauty and perfection is available because it is our default position. The empty mind is where we start, it's our starting point. So in that sense it is coming home to our true nature.